Welcome to our Mentor My Board live stream. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine, Janti ma'am. How are you?
I'm fine, dear. Thank you so much. So, for the benefit of the viewers, I would like to introduce Shruti. Of course, Shruti Deshpande is a name which doesn't require any kind of
Excuse me,
introduction.
Janti ma'am, it's
Shruti
Shruti
Mehta.
Jobanputra. Yeah, Shruti
I'm
Mehta
sorry. I'm sorry.
Jobanputra.
It's Jobanputra. I'm sorry. Extremely sorry. She's a regional director, the Alpha Group International, finance and business and startup coach and consultant, entrepreneur, angel investor, regional director of the Alpha Group. So, having been in the financial consulting domain for over a decade with Shaura Enterprise, um, what are your learnings from that? See, gaining a 1 decade of experience is not a small thing.
Yeah.
So,
So, basically, I come from a business family and typical Gujarati family who I've seen my father, being in trading in capital markets, investing in capital markets since childhood. So it always intrigued me in some way or the other. And even before getting hitched and married here in Ahmedabad, from where I belong right now, uh, I used to help my father in a lot of his work, whether it was investments, whether it is simple banking. That's how I started gaining. It was like a self learn kind of a thing. He really pushed me into doing things. He never like spoon fed me, and he tell find your way out. How do you do things? So he encouraged me a lot in that way, and we all know that parents back then were very strict.
very true.
So yeah, but I was lucky enough to have the parents who brought me up with a very open mind, and my mom herself was from an entrepreneur family. So she used to run a supermarket store where again I used to help her a lot in the back
Mm.
end of schemes, whether it was purchase and managing the accounts and maintaining the inventory and all. So all those kind of smaller experiences and side hustling have helped me a lot, and I understood the value of money from there. So, how you manage those finances, how you save up in those times, it was very, very important to save up because they used to say every penny saved is the penny earned.
True.
So, after marriage, it was like a typical, it took some time for me to get accustomed to the city and know the places around and all. But then slowly I started, like, I thought it was very necessary for me to go out and start doing self learning again, and also engage in small activities, whatever small ways I could. So I took up a job in school, and that's how I started going out, interacting with a lot of women and peers around who, like, kind of have been very helpful in small ways. So I started opening banks account for myself, my own salary, for my kid who was born. How the scenario was changing then in 2000s. So yeah, that was the way ahead.
It's very, very interesting, Mr. Shruti, your entire journey from a small town girl to helping your mom and getting inspiration from the parents, giving value for money is truly inspirational, truly inspirational. So, Shruti, just want to understand or just your thoughts, like from a small girl helping mom in her supermarket in her business, understanding the value of money as an angel investor. You're also embarking as an angel investor into startups.
I
So how do
already
you see
started
this?
2 years back.
Oh, that's lovely, lovely. So how do you see this? Like, what are the parameters you look into as an angel investor, especially when you want to invest and handle or guide the startups?
See, the core of investing in a startup really comes down to your faith in the founder,
True.
how strong the founder is, how their vision, how they're clear about the vision of the company, where they want to take it, or where they see the company 5 years down the lane, 10 years down the lane. So the longer they want to stay with it and build it, that itself shows that faith, that trust of the founder, that robust thinking of the founder to have to create something of value and importance. Then you do
True.
want to work with such passionate people. Because if
True.
there is no passion, of course, the idea also has to be like relevant, but the first and core thinking has to be how strong the founder is, how their values are, how their ethics systems are.
Very true. Very true. I totally agree with your point. So, Shruti, as an angel investors, you have certain parameters while investing in startups, and we all know, like, we are getting startups every day. Every day,
Yeah.
a new startup is getting incorporated. So, and we also
Yes.
know that this startup as like is becoming like a bubble. Few startups we also come know from the media, like how it's happening. So in such cases where the startup, though you align with the vision of the promoter to start with, if there's a deviation in that vision of the promoter, so how do you address it as an angel investor?
See, you have to be very mindful and very clear when you are at the discussion stages. That's where you need to do your due diligences and see in the final linings how they are forming their compilation or the formation of their company, how they are clear about their systems, how they are forming their boards, who all are there on the cap table, and whether their functioning of the boards is very clear, the corporate governance is in
Yes,
place,
yes, very much, very much.
so that binds the whole organization, and that brings out the scaling or the success of any organization.
Absolutely right. Absolutely. So, Shruti, in addition to a angel investor, what's your strategic vision and leadership traits that have contributed for your growth and success?
Because I've been brought up in those 80s and 90s era, I have kind of picked up from my mom. I'm a very disciplined and a very um, you know striving to achieve that perfect health. So I try to give my 100% in whatever task I have taken up. I will not move on to the next task until and unless I feel that yes, now this is the point where I can go to the next step. So that is there, and you have to be persistent, you have to be consistent, you have to do it every day. And
Very true.
one of the
Very true.
core beliefs which I have also put up, I keep on motivating myself and by reading a lot of positive quotes by a lot of thought leaders. So one of the very good thoughts which I came up, and I have put it on my WhatsApp also, is failure is not exactly failure. Failure is the first attempt to,
Exactly.
in learning.
Very
Then
true.
when it is a no, if you get a no for an answer, it's not no, it's next opportunity which you are looking at.
Very true. Very true. Absolutely.
So these are the beliefs you need to have. I mean, you fall, but then you want to get up and start all over again.
Right. So, as you rightly said, that every task is a learning experience,
Yes,
right? And that is where we leverage our learning skill as well as our past experience, right? So, with
true,
this
true, true.
background, I just want to your opinion or your views, like how do you visualize the need of constant learning and development to stay informed about industry trends and competitive
Uh,
landscape?
yeah, I feel it is very imperative in today's time with fast changing technology and with AI taking over so fast.
Very true.
So, if we don't want to become obsolete and become slaves at the hands of AI, it's better we start harnessing the power of it
Right.
and make the most of what we are. So it's like, we have this false conceptions, we start getting insecure that AI is going to replace our jobs and all, but it will replace the human who can operate and harness the AI power, not the jobs in itself.
Right.
So once you keep on updating, that is why it is a constant. Life is a learning process. You are
Exactly.
going to evolve as a human person on a personal level. So likewise, it goes for the professional way also.
Right.
So you keep on learning and evolving, and keep on upgrading yourself. Like the systems, they have a software update every year, every 6 months now. So we why should we stop? We are the biggest systems which God has made. So
Correct.
I think we should keep on updating ourselves as well.
Very true. So, as you rightly said, that staying relevant is very important. We should
Yes,
not become obsolete. And learning is a continuous process. It's not that we learn today and tomorrow we are going to stop. No, that would not help us in any way if we want to stay relevant and competitive in the market.
correct.
Right. So, with this, I just want to ask you, you being a regional director in the company, as a board leader, which aspect of corporate governance you feel you can add more value?
I feel there are four key points. It's being fair, being transparent, being accountable, and being more relevant to what you bring to the table,
True.
what you can contribute as an individual, as a board member,
Right.
and enable the organization to uh, bring in more holistic decisions to the boardroom.
Very true. Absolutely. So, can you provide some best practices from board members, industry leaders, or colleagues who have worked
We
closely with you?
see, when we are saying industry leaders, there are going to be bound to be difference of opinions and difference of thoughts. So you continue with some, you know part ways with some because there have been differences. You don't want to agree because there are certain principles which you set for yourself. So that is the core thing. The principles which you value, the
Correct.
principles which you feel, or the ethics which you feel a boardroom or an organization should have in place for a good governance to be followed. And secondly, I also feel that there has to be uh, a very no nonsense and very um, roundabout thinking in how you um, think the betterment or the larger picture of how you are going to benefiting the organization, the stakeholders, and other members of the board. It can't be biased, it can't be one way, and it also should not be how you are correlated with some member of the board or company. It has to be fair, it has to be thought out in the larger impact it's going to have on the board, the decision it's going to have on the other stakeholders, whether it is the employees, whether it is the customers, whether it is the vendors. So many people are associated with a single organization.
Very true. Absolutely right. So, Shruti, see how much we talk about the diversity part, on the boards. it's still today in India, it's uh, dominated by men, right?
Yes.
Except for the statutory mandatory mandate or compliance that there should be a women leader or a board member on the boards for a few listed companies. So, what is your thought or what is your thinking on how much diversity is really relevant, whether it's a gender related or subject matter expertise diversity on the boards?
See, I think we are just getting started. It's a mere 4%. If I mean, we go to see there is a survey which says which Indian diaspora has only like the corporate leadership has only 4%, and it's
Yes,
called a brain drain situation.
true.
And we really, even if we go to see on the global level, there is a research by European Corporate Governance Institute which says it has a mere 17% of which they have appointed for the academia or management level, out of which only 15% women are there.
Right,
So a
right,
lot of work needs to be done not only on India level but also global level. It is there everywhere. So we really, I mean, and I've seen a lot of, even if you see not only in the management sector, but I have been associated and I've had friends and peers from tech industry as well.
right.
So there it's that also, if you go to see, because the trust level in the capability of a woman is very less.
Hmm.
Oh, she's a woman. Will she be able to do the job
Right,
efficiently? Will she be able to carry on this task? It's a huge deal we need to crack. We need to bring on this very smoothly. It has to be very this. So they already have opinionated us and
correct.
judged us. So it is so very wrong. We are not even being given a chance to showcase our skills and talents. So that groundwork work still needs to be done. I feel we still need to, but we are doing it. We're doing it quite well. There are a lot of examples also. So I do look up to, as we know that Mentor My Board and Boom has been initiated by our very own Nirmala Sitaraman ma'am, and there are others who have I have looked up to in not only corporate world but other fields as well. So many women have done that kind of work, but we still need a long way to go. I mean, but I think we'll get there. Now is the decade for India,
Absolutely.
so I think we are going to show a good example and exemplary
Definitely.
work to be done.
Yes, yes, undoubtedly. In fact, Divya, Neha, and the team
Yes, yes,
actually working
really,
exponentially
really, yeah.
well to ensure that there will be diversity and there is no shortage for talent in terms of diversity,
True,
especially
true,
from the
true.
women sector segment. So, Shruti, I have one more question. See, you have
Yeah,
two different roles or responsibilities what you're discharging. One as a regional director in a company, which is at the CXO level. Another
yeah.
is as an angel investors, you are handholding the startups. Two
Yes.
different, completely two different portfolios are
Different
handling,
roles, yes.
right? And portfolios. So, being in these two very, very important roles, diversified roles, as a woman, what is your vision or what is your mission statement?
Being true and bringing in strategic but practical solutions, and uh, which will be in the benefit for long term gain. But we also need to be mindful of whether we are being spot on with the vision and the mission of the organization as well,
Yes,
and also being uh, true to our not only our own self, because see, as women we do play multiple roles, not only professionally but also personally. So we are
yes,
already juggling in so many roles as a women,
correct.
and as an individual woman, as a mother, as a wife, as a daughter, as a sister.
Unending roles,
So
unending roles. unending roles.
So
It goes on,
it's
goes
a
on,
very
goes
fine
on.
line, Jayanti ma'am, that we need to define that this is my role, this is what
Correct.
I bring to the table, this is what I'm going to do. Period. Beyond this, if you need my help, you have to get to me
Absolutely. Very right.
separately.
Very true.
So you need to be very clear when you are defining your roles. You have to be very draw that boundary, because in this men's world, if we don't draw that boundary, we are going to get caught up and get messed up in a big way,
True.
and we don't want that.
I totally agree with you, Shruti. Like our roles, both at the personal level and the professional level, it goes unending. Especially the personal level, it's a thankless 24/7, unending, undefined roles and jobs and responsibilities forever. But
And I would also like to add that even if we see that in during COVID times when everybody was working from home, women were expected to handle both the roles, whether it is
yes,
working from home and the home role.
yes,
Likewise, it was not the same for the men. I mean, I'm not saying all men did not contribute to working at helping at home, but there have been major responsibilities on
very,
women
yes,
of portraying both the roles. So, it that's where we need to change things. If we are working from home professionally, so are you. So I think it should be both the individuals or whoever else is there at home to help her out, to contribute in her journey. She needs that support too.
yes,
And we should not forget that in the end we are human beings.
exactly,
We cannot be running around 24/7
correct.
and have no stop, no pause. We need a winding down time too.
Exactly. Very true. Very true. So we are not a robo, first of all. We are not a
Yes,
machine. We are a human
yes,
being, and we have certain our own limitations for the energy levels, especially if not the
correct,
capabilities and caliber. It's energy levels. End of the day, even we
correct.
have only 24 hours per day.
Yes. So people tend to forget that and then keep on judging us on that.
Yes, yes, and expectations are unending.
Oh, yes. Whether it is at the office, the boss, or at the home front.
Correct. Very true. So, Shruti, I have one more question for you. Being at the CXO level now, you're a very senior level, and also on the other side, you're also a investor, angel investor. Now, you're aspiring to become independent director on the boards, right?
Yes.
So, it's a hard fact that in most of the companies, wherever women director is there as independent women director, non-executive independent women director, it's more or less the companies look at as a rubber stamp.
Yes.
Yeah,
Very true.
as such in most of the companies it is Mrs. Promoters or Mrs. Directors wives will be there, senior level. Now there's a little bit change in the way the promoters are thinking. They are bringing somebody from outside. In that segment also, what they want or what they're looking for is a rubber stamp.
Yes.
But we as educated people and coming with a lot of aspirations, expertise and experience and a lot of training and mentoring here, when we enter into the board with certain expectations that we are also ready to contribute something else, if she faces. So what is your view on that, how to handle that kind of uh, a negative scenario there?
I'll share a very home front fact check. So I have got married into a business family. My in-laws side have their own family business,
Mm,
and I was pushed a lot to enter into the family business. Initially I did enter and I started working with my husband and father-in-law, but in a year or two I saw I couldn't manage because my temperament was very different from theirs and their working styles were very very uh, uh, I would say very very, very different from what I had seen, because I came from Bombay and Pune. It was a very professional company, professional background where I had seen companies. I have worked in tours and travels agency. I have worked in other companies as well over there, and plus I had helped my parents well back home in Bombay and Pune. So things were very operated in a very different manner there. Whereas here in Ahmedabad and in Gujarat is typically very different, family oriented, and the head of the family only takes decisions. Others are not given the leverage. So I couldn't work in that kind of closed environment, you know. It was very suffocating for me. And I walked out. I said, I'm not going to be a part of it.
Okay.
It was not taken very well. And but I stood my ground, and I'm doing fine for myself all these years. My husband
Lovely.
has like come to terms, and he now agrees that it was a good decision, because the company grew. The other company did wind up, then they started a new business. Again, I was asked, but I was very clear, I'm not going to be a part of family business because I don't agree with a lot of things which you all follow, and that is very clear.
Very true. Lovely, lovely. So, in fact, you could actually withstand that kind of environment. And
Yes,
this is one more challenge in family business. I mean, the
yes.
bahu of the family, bahu at home, if she is carried forward to the boards and to be part of the family business, this is one more challenge. Like the same girl, the same people again at the board.
Yeah, in fact, we were staying in a joint family, and then after 12 years of marriage, we became a nuclear family. That's when I took all the money handling, wherein me, my husband, and my kids were concerned. And I started building our wealth and portfolio.
Excellent.
And from zero, I have built to having good assets, good investments, and I've
Very good.
helped lot of people around in our community, and in my circle, to why it is important for women to have those finances in your hand. It is very imperative. It makes you feel so
Absolutely.
liberated.
Yes.
More than earning, managing your own money is the key, because if
True.
you're earning and giving up that money to your better half to manage it, then you're not independent in the true sense.
It's not
Then you're still
financial independence
dependent.
in true sense.
Yeah,
It's no
you're
not an
still
independence in
dependent.
true sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you, Shruti. So I have one more question for you. Like, uh, what are your mantra for success? If you wish, you want to share with our audience.
Mm, be straightforward, be true to yourself, and don't fake up. uh, World is going to judge you anyways, so just do what you or your gut instincts tell you is right for yourself.
Great. Awesome. Awesome, Shruti. I mean, you're
Thank you.
straightforward. Simply
Yes,
superb and it's a straightforward.
you
Be
need
yourself.
to you need to be yourself, you need to be true to yourself, you need
Very
to
true.
be ever learning and ever accepting also. So yeah,
Very
you
true.
own up your mistakes, you own up your, yeah, I messed up. So
Yes.
what? You fail, you learn.
And end of the day, to err is human, and it's always a continuous learning process. Who doesn't
Yeah.
commit mistakes?
So you're definitely going to learn from your failure. You're going to take some very important lessons from those failures, and you will ensure that you don't repeat them.
Yes,
You
very
don't,
true. Very
when
true.
you're doing something new, you don't, you know, mess up in the same way, maybe new
Correct.
mistakes.
Very right. Very true. Very true. I absolutely agree with you. So, one last question, Shruti. Like, what are your expectations, or how is your journey with our Mentor My Board?
Oh, Mentor by Board has been very, very insightful, very amazing, and it has been a very truly inspiring and thought-provoking journey. And I'm very happy to be a part of this wonderful platform. Thank you, Divya. Thank you, Neha, and the entire team of Mentor My Board for having giving this opportunity. And I definitely look forward to become an independent director from the platform, to be hired by a good company and share my learnings from there as well, and bring in more sharing my experiences with my peers. So I would say all our peers, and I've had such opportunity to meet such wonderful mentors. One of them has been you.
Yes. Very true. Yes.
So it is really wonderful, amazing journey.
Thank you, Shruti. Like, I mean, definitely, we wish that you'll be very, very soon. You'll be onto the boards, and you'll definitely contribute with the amazing and the extraordinary experience what you have gained over a period of time. I'm really
And I
amazed that you
look
are both.
forward to meeting most of you all, if possible, on 29th and 30th. I am going to be there.
Oh, lovely. I mean, the kind of profile you carry with both at a personal level and a professional, regional director, angel investor, saying no at the right time, even if it's a family business. This is all a great takeaways for all of us, Shruti. Even I am learning from you today. Thank you so
We
much
all
for.
learn from each other.
Yes. Thank you so much for being our mentee and to be part of the platform. You're all our future ambassadors of our Mentor My Board.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's truly an honor and privilege to be a part of this wonderful platform, and to be sharing the same platform with such amazing mentors and peers who come
Thank
from
you
such
so much.
diverse backgrounds.
So together, we all of us, let's make it a reality that whatever we have started this Mentor My Board or the Womb program as a community and a movement, we are looking
Yes,
forward to make it as a big movement.
yes,
It's
yes, definitely.
let's make it a fact, a
Big,
reality
big, big. Yes.
very shortly.
Go womb.
Yes. Womb.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Shruti. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.